In this video, we're going to determine how does a firm know the rate of output that will maximize profit. Well, there's something called the profit maximization rule. And that's the single best way for maximizing profit. And what you're going to do is never produce a unit of output that costs more than it brings in. So in other words, every time you produce a unit of output, ask yourself, how much revenue did this last unit generate and how much cost did it generate? You keep increasing your rate of output as long as the revenue that last unit earned is more than its cost. And by the way, the revenue that the last unit earned or produced is called MR, marginal revenue. And the way we describe the cost incurred by producing one more unit of output is marginal cost. So what we're describing here is keep increasing the rate of output as long as MR is greater than MC. If this is the case, MR is less than MC, you reduce the rate of output. So now you're starting to see the signal when you should hold the rate of output constant when profit is maximized is when MR is equal to MC. Now, in perfect competition, the change in revenue when you sell one more unit is simply the price. So this is why MR is equal to MC in perfect competition. So I just told you that MR equals MC is the profit maximization rule. Well, if I wrote this, price equals MC, I'm in essence saying the same thing because these two things are really equal. Again, MR, the change in total revenue that results from a 1 unit increase in quantity sold. And basically, change in total revenue divided by the change in output. Well, if your change in output is always 1, it's easy to say the marginal revenue is simply the change in total revenue when you produce one more unit. Now, we're going to try to maximize profit here. So we're going to be comparing MR to MC. So we talked about this. So here is marginal cost, the change in total cost when you produce one more unit. So when you go from 0 to 1 unit of output, total costs increase from 10 to 15. So the change in total cost when you produce one more unit is 5. When you go from 1 to 2, the change in total cost is 15 to 22, and that difference, that change, is 7. And you can see what we're doing here. Every time we increase output by 1, total cost changes. We're just looking at the difference, and that's marginal cost. So according to the profit maximization rule, a firm should produce a rate of output where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, because if you exceed that, profits will fall. If you produce less than that, profits will fall. So let's take a look at that. So when price, again, when you look at price, also think MR, because price and MR are equal. So when MR is greater than MC, increase the rate of output. When MR is equal to MC, maintain the rate of output, and that's when profits are maximized. And then finally, when MR is less than MC, decrease the rate of output. Now we can see that graphically. Let's look at an output rate of 1. Well, how much cost did that last unit produce? Right here, you find the marginal cost curve. That's how much costs went up because of this last unit. Well, how much revenue went up? Well, you go up until you find the MR curve. See MR curve right here? And so so this increase, let's call it 5. Costs went up by 5, so MC is $5. but MR is $13. So MR is greater than MC. You can see that, right? So that this tells you increase the rate of output. And so if you go to 2 units now, you can see marginal cost has gone up to about $7 now. So let me just erase that, $7. But marginal revenue is still the same because the price hasn't changed. It's still 13. But can you see how still MR is still greater than MC? So increase output. You go to 3, marginal cost increased some more to about 9. And so we erase this, 9. But again, MR is still greater than MC, increase the rate of output. We go to 4. Ooh, we see that MC is now 13 and MR is 13. So we don't want to increase the rate of output, because if we went to 5, can you see how our marginal cost now is at 17? But our marginal revenue is still at 13. So this is at 17 now, and this is still at 13. So guess what? This has reversed. MR is less than MC, which means profits fell by $4. So you back up, beep, 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 to 4. That's how we know 4 is when profit is maximized. So you can see how this has some interesting implications when it comes to how do you figure out how much to produce, and what this does if you're earning an economic profit. Will it attract attention? Will more firms hop into the industry? And that's what we're going to be discussing in the next set of videos, or next chapter. So that's all for now.